Thank you. I love you guys too. And, I've had a lot of decisions to make. And, it always comes back to you. It always comes back to my love for you. And the reason that I ran for this office was in the beginning, it was to shorten wait times at Motor V. Do you remember when they were 3.5 hours? Yeah. And we did that. The Daily Sentinel said that I was planning to open up offices on the first day and that it couldn't be done. And I did it.
Yeah.
We're standing in front of the Justice Center for a reason. Our nation was founded on the rule of law, on the sacred idea that a person of a family were greater than the government. We are the government. Our nation was founded on the belief that the citizens had not just the ability, but the responsibility to hold their government accountable.
Yes.
Following the 2020 and the municipal elections, constituents brought their concerns to me. I'm obligated, as your elected official, to investigate those concerns. My sole responsibility is to make sure that election records are preserved for 25 months. Let me tell you what happened. My chief deputy was accused of a felony for coming into work. The Democrat Secretary of State banned me from the elections department. Another one of my staffers, who's also here today, a longtime county employee with a spotless record, brilliant woman, was fired without cause because of the liberal Secretary of State. When she went to ask why she was fired, they said, "Why don't you tell us why you shouldn't be fired?" My home was raided, as many of you know, on November 16th by Joe Biden's FBI, violating the privacy of my late son, Remington Jordan Peters. Effects that I hadn't even been able to go through for 4 years since his tragic death. Like it was nothing. They made me sit in a chair while they went through my home, violating every right. The Constitution, Amendment 4, that says we have a right to protection of our person and our property. Private citizens were harassed and intimidated by a weaponized justice system. Have you seen the latest? Have you seen that our illustrious Queen Griswold, elected with George Soros money, has offered to let me return to my job in elections, the one that you elected me to do, if and only if I make a public statement saying we don't need more transparency in our elections and that there was no voter fraud.
She's a criminal. Oh, struggle session.
Now tell me in history or whatever movie you've ever seen where a person trying to force the other person to agree there isn't fraud is the good guy.
Yeah.
She's trying to get out of the guilt.
I've got her offer. Burned up a lot of trees, a lot of my ink. You know what I have to say to this gag order? This order that I shut up, stop investing the election, apologize, and I can have my office back, the one you guys elected me to, under certain terms.
Thank you.
I say never.
Yes!
You are the people who elected me, not the Secretary of State, not Merrick Garland's or Joe Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland, not the grand jury that is being called against me to try to prove I've done something wrong. I've never done anything wrong, and it's going to show that.
You're a hero.
Wasted County Commissioners hit your curry.
Yes, absolutely. Where are they? Yeah. Oh, shit.
You know, I listen to you. You're my boss. Those that elected me. Do you want me to stay and fight for election transparency? I could give up and go home. Now face it, I'm 66-year-old single woman, and if I wanted to live out a quiet, happy retirement, I could sign that gag order and I could go home.
We're here for a reason.
Does the fighter quit in the middle of the fight?
No.
My son was a Navy SEAL, a brave Navy SEAL that served this country, the country that's trying to do this to you and to me. I don't even recognize this country right now. And if we don't stand up, and tell the truth and fight for your vote, I don't know where we're going to end up.
Do what's right.
It's not going to happen.
Every day,
It's not going to happen. We're winning.
every day you don't quit, we win. Today we are living in an exciting time. Things are changing and moving towards freedom. I want you to know that I won't quit against corruption, standing against a one-party rule and federal government. In 2018, the Mesa County citizens voted to entrust me with their elections. As clerk and recorder, that was evident again when the recall effort making false accusations against me couldn't get enough signatures to force a new vote in 2020. I trusted the election systems that I inherited and the assurances from our Secretary of State, the federal government, and the professional organizations like the Colorado County Clerks Association, that our elections were trustworthy. That changed in early 2021 when you brought me your concerns. I began to suspect the upcoming Secretary of State's trusted build would prevent me from preserving the county election records that state and federal law mandate me to keep. Because of that concern, I hold your trust sacred. I've taken an oath to the Constitution of Colorado and to the Constitution of the United States of America. And I will fight to preserve our democracy from enemies, foreign and domestic.
And to rest.
Got your back.
Thank you. I and the people who have stood with me have paid a high price. And from the looks of things, it's not over yet. And for that, I only regret what's been done to the Mesa County voters and my friends. Given the choice between violating the voters' trust and my oath or angering the powers that be, I'm going to side with the voters.
Yes. Thank you.
Every time. I owe you nothing less. If I hadn't have made that decision, we would have never known what the first forensic report showed that our voting systems do not meet the federal standards mandated by federal law and Colorado law, and they should have never been certified by the Secretary of State, who is routinely destroying our election records in violation of the law and our citizens' trust. 5 other elected officials are now suing the Secretary of State over those violations and others. In fact, a second forensic report is getting ready to come out from a database expert showing problems the first forensic report didn't identify. And a third forensic report is about to be released, showing that we have even less reason to trust these voting machines.
No more machines, ever.
Much less anyone that says that these machines can be trusted. And that's a problem, because many of our elected officials are good people. But there is no way for them to keep faith with citizens in these voting systems. You know, I'm not a cyber expert, but there are people that know now, because of the image, what they've been doing to you. And we need to have transparency. We need to have people that can go in and supervise, monitor what these election systems do once you faithfully place your ballot. And I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party. You know, I'm an impartial person. People have asked me to run for Secretary of State. My heart is here in Mesa County. What I've started, we have to finish, and we have to finish well.
Then Secretary of State.
Will you stay in the fight with me?
Yes, absolutely.
God bless you, Tina.
Together, we must form a united front to battle the corruption and those who wish to silence the truth. My name is Tina Peters, and I'm formally announcing today, I haven't announced before, and you guys know that I'm running to be your Mesa County Clerk, and I would appreciate your vote. I won't let you down. I love you. Thank you.
God bless you, Tina.